All right, we're cranking through the series here. I think we're on 23 now. So we're taking a look last time at adding a footer sidebar. We noted by looking at the comp here that we have a sidebar, at least one sidebar that we're going to have to need to create, and populated with 3 widgets. It looks like a links widget looks like a good candidate for a navigation widget. A poll, which we don't actually have a poll widget, so we're going to leave that blank, and a newsletter widget. So let's take a look at creating those right now. So let's dive back into our back end here. Yes, I did say dive into our back end, but get your mind out of the gutter. So we're going to go into our sidebars admin, and we're going to create a new sidebar. We're going to call it top, and we're going to put it in, lo and behold, the footer. We're going to say default because we want it to be on every page by default. And since it's going to be 24 wide, we're going to say it's the first and last. It has the first column and the last column, meaning the column 1 belongs to this sidebar, and column 24 belongs to this sidebar. So we're going to give it 24 columns. Position, we'll position it first. It's the first and only, but it is the first. And then we're going to say add sidebar. All right, rock on. There it is. Okay, so by default, you're not going to see anything. If you go back here, the only thing you'll actually see is if you expand using Firebug our HTML here, you'll see footer, and actually it's not even there yet because we haven't gone and saved the page. Let me just do that right now. We actually have to go save the page here. So we'll update that there. Then we'll go ahead and update this. Okay, so now you should see in the HTML markup in Firebug, you should see, you still don't see anything. Obviously, I am a genius here. So let me take a look and see what's going on here. Our footer is there. Oh, it's just because we haven't added any widgets to it yet. Right, obviously. So, like I said, adding a sidebar by itself won't do anything. So let's go in here, and since we added that sidebar, we now see it right here. And like I said, that first widget called links looks like a good candidate for a navigation widget. You might be tempted to put the links widget in there, but generally you could definitely do that. But the links widget is generally for external links pointing to other areas of the site. If you look in our comp, this is all pointing to pages within our site. So we're going to use the navigation widget here. We're going to go here and we're going to create this, and we're going to call it links, and display type horizontal is fine. You see they come across like that. And we're going to say nav location is in the footer, and we're just going to save that right now. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a placeholder for the polls. If you look here, we don't have a polls widget. We're going to have to actually build one of those widgets out because we don't actually have a widget right now. So we're going to call this community poll. And just save that. And then the last one is our newsletter. So we're going to drag another gridded text in here, and we're going to call it newsletter. Now notice, let's take a look at this. So we now have one sidebar with three widgets inside of it. If we go and we reload this, we should see them. There we go. There's our 3 widgets inside our one sidebar. Now, but the problem is let's go back and look. Let's see at our comp. It looks like they need to be spread out. So we have a 24 column sidebar with 3 widgets inside of it. 24 divided by 3 is what? 24 divided by 3 would be 8. So each of these should be about 8 columns wide. So let's go in here and do that. We're going to go in here and say show grid fields, and we're going to say this is 8 columns. This happens to be the first, represent the first column, so we'll click first, and it's not the last, so we uncheck that. Going on, we'll do the same thing with this one, except this is the middle one, so it's not the first or last. And then finally, the last one, we're going to go in here and we're going to say show grid fields, 8s, and leave last checked. And we'll take a look and see what that looks like.